Let's get to the latest when it comes to the Karnataka Stampede report, blaming RCB and mentioning Virat Kohli as well for the Bengaluru Stampede that claimed 11 lives and injured over 50 people. The Karnataka government has said in its report to the High Court that the Royal Challengers Bengaluru and cricket superstar Virat Kohli invited people for that victory parade to the Chinnaswamy Stadium unilaterally and without consultation, without seeking permission from the police and from the governing body. Now, the Karnataka government, in its defense, says that the permission for such events needs to be taken at least 7 days in advance, but they were told rather than even being asked or sought permission in this matter, and they were informed just at about 6:30 in the evening, not even a day prior to that large-scale event.
No, let me see the report, and I don't want to jump to conclusions. Once the report is, we see it. See, this is not a blame game here. If there is some lacuna or if there has been some mishandling of the situation, who was responsible, we have to take action. That's why the commission has been appointed, and it essentially created a hue and cry, and the people died, and it was a national news, international news. We have to take action. So let us wait for the report, see what the report says. Based upon that, the cabinet will take a further decision.
How do you really look at this particular report?
See, it is not only RCB which requested people to come. The huge number of people arrived there because of on the invitation of Congress and on the invitation of Mr. D.K. Shivkumar and government officials themselves. The DPR secretary herself came on the TV and said, asked people to come to Chinnaswamy Stadium. So it is the government, and the government is solely responsible for that. The Justice Dicona's report indicating whatever, I have not seen the report, but whatever I heard, if they have indicated RCB as the sole responsible organization for this incident, why did government suspend police commissioner? Why did government suspend so many other police officers? So if there is no mention of police officers in the report, then why did Chief Minister take action on them? Chief Minister should come out and apologize to the police commissioner publicly.
Look at the comments that there was no outright permission, it was just an intimation of sorts. They're further saying social media posts by RCB, even posting Virat Kohli's message itself, that led to overcrowding.
See, if there was an intimation by RCB that they are going to hold a celebration function in Chinnaswamy Stadium, and if government did not want that to happen, they should have refused the permission.
Well, yes. Now, we should note that after the stampede occurred in Bengaluru, the Karnataka High Court took suo motu cognizance. They had asked a list of questions to the government, asked them to submit a report. Now, a status report was submitted in the month of June itself in a sealed cover. It was only recently that the High Court opined that there is no need to put this in a sealed cover. It's not a matter of national interest, and probably from this there could be many takeaways. Now, we've accessed this report in its entirety here at NDTV, and while we are trying to decipher point by point, let me in fact take our viewers through what the report here highlights. One is the aspect here of no permission outrightly being given by the police, and in fact the request that was made, the police say, was in a form of an intimation more than a request, because a formal request for a procession of this scale should have been done ideally 7 days before is what they're saying. Further, they're saying without this permission that was actually given, they went ahead and put multiple social media posts, and Virat Kohli's video itself was put out where he has asked people to come where there will be a procession. Apart from that, they're also saying that there was a lot of mismanagement at the gates, and more importantly, the entire confusion that was created over whether the entry would be free for all or there would be a limited passes that would be there. So these created confusion, eventually led to a frenzy outside the gates, and mismanagement at the gate led to the stampede. Now, after all of this, they've also mentioned the action taken against the police, against the people involved, the FIRs registered, the compensation given. But through the entire report, you don't really see the report blaming the police. Then the action taken, of course, says that the police were pulled up. So there is, of course, a little bit of dilemma, and we'll really have to see how the court really looks at this, because this has been accepted by the court, and more importantly, that matter continues to be heard in the Karnataka High Court as well.
Right, of course, we're talking about that report that has been submitted by the government, and of course there is also a cabinet meeting that's taking place in Karnataka. The discussion involves around the Judicial Commission report, and the retired judge that submitted that report as far as the stampede is concerned. The report is being placed before the cabinet. Will the government take action? That is a big question, and Deepak gets us all the answers.
This is the Judicial Commission report. Now, we should understand, as far as the stampede is concerned, there are a few, inquiries that were done. Initially, the court asked for a status report. That's the report, of course, that we put out for our view. We also, a few days ago, mentioned how the retired Justice Michael D. Kuna was given charge of preparing an entire detailed report and inquiring into the stampede. Now, he has submitted his report to the Karnataka Chief Minister a few days ago. That report is being presented in front of the cabinet, and once the cabinet approves of the findings of the Judicial Commission here, then the recommendations that are made in this particular commission and the findings, of course, of the government will have to act on. So, if they find the police responsible, if they find the RCB or the KSA responsible, action should be initiated, particularly against them. Now, there's already an FIR against the RCB, the KSCA, and the DNA. Now, whether this report will have more to say about the police's role, will that mean that the police will have to face more consequences? These are details that we'll know after the cabinet meeting concludes.